Hello and welcome to LearningEngineer.com, where we engineer learning for efficiency. My name is Michael Langdon, and today what I want to do is go over how to do a basic zoom animation, or I guess scale animation, in Storyline360 using JavaScript and Greensock. And before I just want to give credit where credit is due. The Learning Dojo channel has inspired me to do this. So if you have questions about using JavaScript and animations, this guy has got pretty much all of it. So I would recommend, I am a subscriber to this channel, so I would recommend subscribing to this channel, of course. So this is where I was inspired by. So I'm just going to show you what I came up with. Now, the reason why I came up with this is because oftentimes I've wanted to zoom images, but I'm not a big fan of the zoom region in Storyline, and I'm not a big fan of using like layers or states to like enlarge an image. So I'm not a big fan of that. And so I wanted to be able to do animations, but I want to be able to do more than what Storyline can do. And so that's when I found Learning Dojo and I started looking at it. And so this is probably what I'm going to do in the future as far as incorporating zooms. If I need to zoom in on an image, I'll use this. And the nice thing about this over layers is that sometimes layers and states aren't accessible, but this would be accessible. So because this doesn't change any of the accessibility features on it, so that would be better here. So just to demonstrate, here I have this basketball. You click zoom, okay, and then it's got like a little bounce out and bounce in ease, okay, and you can do the same thing with text. Okay, so let's take a look at what's going on here. Okay, and so what I'm going to do is just bring up another slide. So we'll make a new slide, basic layouts, and blank. Okay, and then I'm just going to put in a photo so you can kind of see. Oh, we'll use this basketball photo. And I'm going to shrink this way down, of course, to there. So now when you're scaling an animation, this would be a 1. Wherever your default is 1. Okay? So now the next thing I'm going to do is put in a trigger. And it's going to say execute JavaScript. Okay, so that's the trigger we want. And then JavaScript. So now we're going to type in our JavaScript. I'm sorry, but before we do that, I need to do one thing. I need to come over here, click on this, and then click on accessibility. And then I need to change this to the name I'm going to use. So I'm just going to say BB photo. Okay? Because this, let me go back to that. This is what we're going to reference to animate it, is the accessibility text for all text. This would also mean that if you had like 2 of these and they both had the same name, you could animate both of them at once. I know because I already tested it. It works. So, and I can show you that at the end. So there's our first one, and we have our accessibility as BB-photo. So again, now we're going to go back and put in our trigger. Execute JavaScript, JavaScript. So the first thing we need to do is we want to create a variable. So we're going to say let, and we want a variable to reference this photo. So we'll just call it BB, and we'll put a capital P. So BB photo equals document query selector all. So this is basically saying, go to the document and we want you to look at everything. And now we're going to specify what we want it to find. So we're going to say quotation mark, parentheses, quotation mark, left bracket, data. So data accessibility text is what we're doing here. And then your bracket, oh no, I'm sorry. I'm a little ahead of myself. So equals. And then in single quotes, BB photo, because that's the name we gave to the alt text. Okay, now we put in the bracket the quotation marks and the right parentheses, and then finally a semicolon. Okay, so then our next line. So basically what we've done here is we've taken all of this and we've plugged it into this variable. And this makes it a lot easier for us when we are programming, that we don't have to keep repeating all of this over and over again. We can just do this. Okay. So now we're going to do the animation. And to do that, we have to have the Greensock. So to initiate Greensock, it's just gsap dot, and then we're going to go to, and then parentheses, and then we need our BB photo variable. Okay. A comma, and then a curly bracket on the left. And then the first thing we're going to put in is our duration. So we're going to have our duration be 2 seconds. We're going to have our scale be, let's have it be like a 5. That'll let us see. And then we have our easing. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is, so I just put in empty quotes for the easing because we're going to go look at that now. But I am going to finish this out so that all we have to do is put that in. Okay. So then we're going to come back to the Greensock webpage. Okay. Now, when you first come to the GSAP webpage, let me just go back here. This is what you see. And we're going to go to resources. And they have this whole thing on how to get started. And they have all kinds of information and resources. Okay. So there's like your first animation, and it tells you how to do everything. And you could practice all this stuff right in Storyline. Okay. So I'm going to go to easing though. And I'm going to come down to the ease visualizer. And I've already kind of picked one out. And I think that's the back one. And we want to back in. Yeah, I think we're going to do back in and then back out to undo it. Okay. So now let's go back here. And of course, there's all kinds of reference materials for all of the features that you can use. Okay. So we're going to go back and dot in, because that's going to be it's going to zoom in on the image or scale up the image. Okay. And then when the user clicks, so we're not going to do that. We're going to do a timeline. We're going to say timeline reaches, let's say 2 seconds. Okay. And then one of the things we can do is we can duplicate this. So we can copy the selected trigger and paste the selected trigger. Then we can come back up to our JavaScript and we can say back out. And then also we have to now scale this down to back to 1. Okay. And then we click OK. So that's already done. We do need to change our seconds. So why don't we change this to, let's change this to 8. And then we're also going to have to extend this out to like 12. And you see here, it didn't let me actually pick 8. It only went to the farthest point in the timeline, which was 5 at the time. So I'm going to redo this now and it'll come up as 8. So now that's done. So now we can obviously save this and let's publish it. And let's go view project, and let's go to this slide. So 1000, 1000. Okay, it didn't work. So we're going to have to check why it didn't work. So what we'll do is close. That's 02. So let's look at our JavaScript. So probably what happened is I have a typo somewhere in here. First of all, I should make sure that I have the correct reference. So I just want to check on that. I don't. There's where I made a mistake. That's right. I put a dash, not a dash, a hyphen. So I got to fix that. So if we come back here and we go BB photo, yep, there's supposed to be a hyphen there. And we'll come back to this one and we'll put a hyphen there. Okay, so that should fix that. And see, that's one of the things about programming is you have to be right. The computer doesn't care why you made a mistake. The computer doesn't care why you made a mistake. It just knows that you made a mistake. So we'll publish this and we'll try it again. We'll go view project. Let's go to the last one here, 1000, 1000. There we go, and it's zoomed in. And then in a few seconds, it should zoom back out. There we go. So we did it. That's how you do it. Make sure to check your, don't forget to make sure to check your code when you do this. Okay. And so that's it for today. My name is Michael Langdon, and have a good day.